people.
Yes.
We have 2 visitors,
18 members and 2 visitors.
18 members and 2 visitors. All right, now, we don't have a microphone. When you talk, you're going to have to really project as much as you can, okay? May I? Here's one of our visitors. Amy, stand up, would you? What? I know. Amy, I want you to kill that thing there. Yeah.
Can't we just turn it?
Okay. Well, we're live, by the way. We're live. So, Karen Wenger is helping out with that. What is your name, Miss Visitor? Amy. Amy? Amy came with her mother, Barb. So, all right, thank you. And we have another visitor, and her name is Jane, right? Yes. Jane, what's your last name? Do you mind, or are you under witness protection?
It's Ferris, like a Ferris wheel.
Okay. Oh, okay. And you are, I found out Cindy has a friend. She is Cindy Fran. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. Oh, my side view is not very good, I have to tell you. Sorry about that, people. Yes,
I
ma'am.
have a question. Is your hair dry?
My hair is dry. Did you all see that?
Yeah.
That was fun. You know, I'm blow drying my hair and I'm thinking, I gotta remind everybody, because I have people every month go, I forgot, you know? So I thought, I'm gonna jump on and remind them. And of course, I'm a little crafty. So I had that little video, blow drying my hair. Oh! So anyway, all right, let's get on with the meeting. We have a big meeting tonight. And Karen Wenger was our greeter tonight. She stood in for everybody. Karen? Yay. All right. And Nancy Ostertag is here, and she stood in for the attendance, the membership. We thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Nancy Moore and Ann Houston have done the membership, or the membership and the attendance, and they've done such a wonderful job. But they have decided they want to step back. And so therefore Nancy Ostertag and Sally Spite, who is our vice president right now, they have agreed to take that position, and we are really excited about that. So thank you for that. Nancy and Ann, thank you so much for everything that you've done. We really appreciate it. So they'll be done the end in December, and then Nancy and Sally will take over in January. Woo, I did that pretty good. All right. We have the annual election of officers. This is not going to take very long. The only officers that we needed to have this year were Vice President, which is Sally Spite, her term ends the end of this year, and Treasurer Marianne Art. And Marianne has agreed to stay on for another 2 years, and we are very thankful for that. Karen Wenger has agreed to run for vice president, and I think a lot of you know her. You just, well, I mean, she's pretty awesome. Tell us a little bit about yourself, would you, Karen? Please, just a little, not a lot.
So I am a teacher in Valparaiso. I teach middle school art. And some of you I recognize because I also worked at Sweet Stitches in Valpo when they were there.
No.
Sorry, not Sweet Stitches. Sorry, Cotton Cottage Quilts. And so I recognize your faces from there as well. So
Yeah, so most of you know who she is.
Yep.
All right. Very good.
And she carries heavy things for little old ladies.
She does.
Yes,
She really does. Yes. Yes. So, okay. So we had 18 proxy votes, and then, no, we had 16 proxy votes, 18 members tonight. We need to vote. So, are there any nominations from the floor? Okay, thank you very much. All right, seeing that there are none, all in favor to elect Karen and Mary Ann, say A. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Oh, wow. I hereby cast the elective vote for Karen Wanger and Mary Ann Art on behalf of the String Along Quilt Guild members who were not able to attend but sent their votes in. And they were sent to Pat Pilara, which is how we were supposed to do it. They were emailed to her, and she sent all that information to me. So everything is above board, and we have done everything properly. And that's a pretty good thing for me. So, all right, and the crowd cheers. Yay! Okay, Daylin, quickly, well, not quickly, but come on up here. Daylin was in charge of our retreat, and we would like you to talk to us about that a little bit. Just tell us what all happened.
All right. Well, we ended up having 20 attendees at the retreat in Rochester, Indiana. It was a great center. They provided the food. We had nice rooms, a great sewing area. We had plenty of room to everybody could social distance. We all had our own table. And we wore masks and shields all the time except when we were eating, but the dining room was large, so it was very spacious. We did some fun projects. We worked on our raffle quilt and had a great little projects from Sweet, and everybody did their own things too and had a lot of fun. It was a good weekend.
Yep.
And we're in the works of planning for next year, so more details will follow.
All right. Thank you so
You're
much,
welcome.
Daylin. She always does a wonderful job taking care of that, and we really appreciate you. All right. In a minute, we're going to do show and tell, but what did I want to do? Oh, I know. Real quick. Where'd it go? I lost it. There it is. Okay. I have a huge apology because with this COVID thing, I totally forgot that we had blocks that we were supposed to make and we haven't done them yet. So, you're shaking your head no. Oh, I thought, oh no, I'm supposed to hide them. It's a secret. And here I'm giving out a secret. They are the blocks for Nancy Perrins. Nancy, you were the president?
Where?
Yeah, and I have several blocks for you, but I just didn't promote it anymore, and I apologize. So please, by the end of the year, we have got to get them in. I'll show you those at the end, or I'll tell you what, I'll post the pictures on Facebook and let you know, and all of you here, if you want to see them, let me know. Also, Martha was our secretary. Pat Pilara took her place. We are also the same thing. I have blocks for her, and we need to do those. I feel really bad about that. That is one thing I really let go.
Don't feel bad on my account.
Well, but it is to take care of. So I'll take care of that tonight. Okay. Let's do show and tell. Real quick, we've got Deb Strain here tonight. She is fabric designer, and she designs for Moda, so we cannot wait to get that. So anyway, if you want to just line up there, and I will take your pictures while you're showing. Should I do it that way? Yeah.
My name's Linda Krieger, and this has given me an opportunity to get lots of things done. I have a huge collection of fabric, so this was some of my favorite Moda Civil Wars, so got it done.
Oh, that's
and Bonnie quilted it, so I'm just thrilled with how this one came out.
I thought it looked familiar.
And then several years ago, I was on that 90 or 60 degree angle thing and did these table runners and never did anything. And Bonnie quilted these, so got those done. And then this is another one, but Jamie Wallen quilted this one, so got that one done. And then years and years ago, the guild did the row robin. The row robin, I don't know how many years ago that was, but I finally got it quilted and bound, and so yay, so that's
Yay.
good. Yippee skippy, these things are done. And last but not least, if any of you remember the quilt shop over in Crown Point,
Yes.
that's no more.
Bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces.
Yes.
This was a Darlene Zimmerman class, and I found it in a tub. All but 6 blocks were done. So I quick did the 6 blocks and put the border on it and got it quilted. Jamie Wallen quilted this one. So now this one's done.
Yay! Wonderful.
Good job, Linda. I'm Martha Camp Latara. Someone put on Facebook, this cute little owl said she did it, bought everything at Dollar Tree, but she didn't say how big it was or what she used other than the leaves. Well, I kind of did the same thing, only mine's bigger and not a...
Oh my gosh! How cute!
That's a lot of flowers, let me tell you.
I love it.
Oh,
I made 4, which again, a lot of flowers. And the 3 have these eyes and the other one has sunflower eyes.
oh, that is so cool.
If anybody remembers the puppets I showed one meeting,
Yes.
well, somebody said you ought to make driver covers. So this is my eagle driver cover that can probably double as a puppet, only its beak will not open.
Oh, do you sell those? Because I'd
You
like
betcha.
one, please.
Yes.
Okay.
I have 4 of these.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Isn't that adorable?
Because I golf. Yeah.
And I love your
Nancy, can I help you?
Sure. Yeah.
Whoops.
We have it backwards.
We have it backwards. Do you want, okay. Wow.
Wow.
Nancy, hey Karen, can you come grab that?
Years ago, my friend Phyllis and I went on a shop hop in the short bus from Deb's shop, and I found a pattern the first place we stopped, and I bought it. The pattern was done in browns and grays and taupes. I wasn't inspired by that color scheme, so I bought fabric at all the other shops we stopped at. And I finished it. This was years ago. I finally finished it in time for our quilt show this year.
Oh, there you go. And we didn't get to have
That we haven't had.
You'll have it ready for next year.
Yes.
But we got it ready.
Okay.
I think I didn't put a label on it yet, but I do have a sleeve on it, so.
Well, that's good. Okay, here. Do you have anything else?
That's it.
That's it?
I have not gotten anything done during lockdown.
Oh. No, I mean,
Except-
I thought you had other stuff in your bag.
Oh, that's just what I'm working on.
Oh, okay, excuse me. You got it?
Oh, and this is all hand quilted with Japanese quilt designs.
Isn't that neat? All right,
Judy
Becky.
Holden put it together for me on her long arm thingy.
Oh,
It's really cool.
I'm Becky Hall, and I've been doing charity quilts, really a lot of them, and I've already turned a lot of them in to the places where we give them to. So that's pretty much what this one is. Charity quilt.
Oh, that's cute.
Little baby quilt.
That's very cute.
would you tell everyone where you take those?
They're going to this family services just on the other side of Walgreens in Valpo for now.
Okay.
The other place has more than they need. Again, when they notify us, we'll give them some more.
Okay.
You know, so, but
I
they're,
just wanted people to
yeah,
know where
they're
they're
more
going.
than pleased to have them.
Okay, good.
This started out as a charity quilt until somebody said, oh gosh, this color is a friend's favorite color. So her husband is doing a lot of electrical work on Tom's soon-to-be redone house. So his wife is going to get this instead.
That's very,
So,
very nice.
Love the colors.
Yes, they're beautiful. Okay. Now, do we have any of the COVID challenge quilts here?
I do.
All right, if you have, go ahead and, everybody come on up. And then that would be all of our show and tell, I do believe.
I don't want to go after her.
Beautiful one.
This is mine. I had never done a log cabin.
And
so
this is
I
Cindy.
found this. Just COVID. Hang in there.
And that's Cindy Schroll. Okay, thank you.
So I'm not a perfectionist like Cindy. So I started mine off, and I did places that I was sometimes allowed to go to, and then other places that I wasn't. So I have my school on there. I have shop local. We would go and take carry out at Susie's Cafe. And then I put my church, the Faith Over Fear, there. And then 6 feet is the mask. Wash your hands with soap. The word love. I had to work out from home. Helping hands and family time is here. The sun. Your to-do list. A calendar. The toilet paper coming out. And so then I decided I was going to continue and do the 7 fruits of the Spirit and continue. So there's love. This one is joy. And then I attempted to thread paint on my own, which I'm sure I did many things wrong, but it was still fun. And then I did peace there. And so I'll just have to keep working.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Karen.
Well, this is kind of a mushmash because all I did was cut a lot of fabric for a lot of people. So this is the fabric. There's 4 pairs of scissors on here. The center one is COVID. And
Yeah.
those are the centers from all those flowers I cut to make all those owls.
Yeah, what a great idea.
And these are aliens with masks, skeletons, because it shows the progression of masks here. This is a simplicity fabric,
Uh-huh.
and they all have the little black masks on, if you look close. Then you got the white mass,
Yes.
and the center one with the skeletons. Then it went to novelty fabric. Then it went to team fabric. Then it went to the license with Captain America and Spider-Man, and now it's into the bling phase. And that's what this is all meant to me.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, Cindy. Hi, Cindy. How are you?
We've talked about this one,
Yes.
and now you get to see it.
Yes, I can't wait. You're making me wait.
Finished it at 6:30.
Oh,
It's not finished because I still got to make loops.
that's
for hanging.
okay.
And one part is pinned on that will be stitched down. But
Nobody will ever know. Oh. Oh. See the mask?
fabric was used in a mask. Every fabric on here.
Isn't that wonderful? Oh my gosh.
And yeah,
Isn't that cool?
The sewing machine is shrunk down from the one that's at Sweet Stitches.
Yes.
And I was already planning on making that because I thought it was cool. But I didn't want one that big. And so I was already figuring how to cut it down. And then Bonnie says, "Oh, I'm doing this challenge. It's going to be 24 inch by 24 inch." And I went, bingo.
Yeah.
And I told her about it. And she said, when you get it done, all quilted and everything, you got to have a mask flying off the machine. And then we were in South Bend, and I talked to Diane,
Uh-huh.
and I showed it to her. And she says, when you get done, you got to have a mask flying off the machine. I said,
Great minds. What can
"Great
I
minds."
say?
So
Yes.
there it is.
Oh, wonderful. Great job. Okay. All right. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. All right. We are going to now have Deb. Deb, would you tell everybody about yourself and just go for it? Okay? You can take your mask off. It's okay because you're far enough away.
Okay, everyone okay with that? Yeah. Just so that you can understand me. Okay, well, thank you for coming. Is this your first meeting? Well, thank you. I feel honored to be part of that. So, my name's Deb Strain, and I am a Moda designer. I've been with Moda almost 25 years. Wow. So I'm the second longest, notice I didn't say oldest, designer that's been there, behind Jan Paddock. And I can remember Moda when they were teeny tiny, very small, and maybe had, I think, 8 to 10 designers, and now they have 80. Wow. So it's been really wonderful watching them grow. It's a great company, and I am just very fortunate to be part of it. And if you ever wonder about the companies you work with, they have such a great outlook. The owner, Mr. Dunn, is a very kind man. You know, I've heard stories of when maybe a store will burn down and he'll send things, you know, to them. He's really a good man. So if you ever kind of wonder about the companies you buy for, they're a good one. So what I'm going to do tonight is just kind of show you my design process, talk a little bit about how I did this. I was an art teacher too for 9 years, and so I'm used to people asking questions, so you don't even have to raise your hand, because once we get going, some of it's pretty technical, and I love what I do, and I talk really fast because I get excited. And so if you have any questions or I miss anything, just yell it out, and I'd love to answer that. So the way I make a living is I'm called a licensed artist or a surface designer. And that means I try to get my artwork on any kind of surface, any surface. I'm talking floor tiles, wallpaper, anything I can get my artwork on. That's what I try to do. So some of the things I try for are, you know, napkins and table linens. My husband and I do these little note cards. We did have our own greeting card company with 12 employees, and we downsized that here about 10 years ago. So we did have that. We also do garden flags and, gosh, anything you can imagine that has artwork on it, that is what I'm trying to do, is get my artwork out on that. But my favorite thing is fabric. And like I say, I've worked for Moda for 25 years. The way we got started was I was an art teacher, and in the summers, we would have 90 kids come to our home for summer art classes. I mean, it was back to back, you know, booked every hour. I had a different class, and I'd have like 6 or 7 kids in the class. And one of my students' moms was Ann McKinney, who did Circle of Friends and My Sister's Closet patterns. I don't know if you remember this. This is like early 90s, and they were soft sculpture dolls. Remember when the soft sculpture dolls, everybody did them. They were hanging everywhere. And I illustrated her pattern covers. Well, we took those illustrations and put those on greeting cards. And in a year, our lives just turned upside down. I quit teaching. Within a year and a half, Scott quit teaching. We built a building on our property. We had 12 employees. It was crazy. Wow. Crazy. Wow. And our lives just turned upside down. But we were at a show once that we would do trade shows, and it was the Quilt Guild, the Quilts Incorporated, the International Quilt Festival, and I saw this group of people in suits walking through my booth. And whenever anyone in suits came through, you thought, oh, this is important. Well, about a week later, I got a call from someone, and she said, "Hi, my name is Cheryl, and I'm from Moda Fabrics. Would you like to design fabric for us?" And I said, okay. And we kind of had a handshake, and we have been together ever since, and it's just been wonderful. They've taken Scott and I to Japan because my fabric's printed in Japan. I think we were having so much fun, though we never actually made it to the factory. Before I get started, though, I have some door prizes, because when I was a teacher, I know people always smiled more, even though I can't see your smiles, when door prizes. So I'm going to give these out, and these are just things I've designed. Everything here I have designed. So every book you see, I've illustrated, every greeting card. I did 5 calendars this year. Usually they're available on Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they are this year or not. I don't have any control over that. So, these are all things that I've designed. So, things that I'm giving away. Anyone have a birthday on Valentine's? Anniversary, birthday?
Anniversary.
Anniversary? Winner, chicken dinner. It's a garden flag or just a little ball you can do. Okay. Let's see. Anyone have a new grandbaby this month? Last month? Next month? There you go. And how about anyone called Nana? Nana? I love Nana. Okay, so I have 2 friends, and one calls me Nana, and one calls me Myrna. And it's like, and I love it. Okay, how about this? How about, does anyone have a frog in their garden? A statue, anything? There you go. This is a little garden flag. You did. How about anyone have a snowman collection that has more than, you have one? Well, you get it then. This is just some artwork here. Does anyone have a place by water? I do. Okay.
I don't want to win again. Somebody else can.
You what?
Okay.
It's just a little. Does anyone have, let's see, does anyone have, anyone going to water? Anyone going, to Florida this summer? Winter. There you go. Someone else? Huh? Anyone have an Adirondack chair? No, okay, we'll just pass on that one. Anyone flip-flops on.
Flip-flops.
On. You have sandals? That's close. And anyone bought their Thanksgiving turkey yet?
No.
No? Anyone having Thanksgiving? There you go. Welcome. So lots of smiles, right? Behind your mask? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to get started then. So my whole goal on doing these talks, and we go all over the place to do these talks, is to help you understand what all goes into designing fabric. Because as you know, when you design quilts, a lot goes into them that people who don't really, maybe aren't used to quilting and don't really know what goes into them. And the same goes for fabric. And we don't just pull designs off the internet and pop them on fabric. I hand draw and hand paint every piece of fabric that I've designed. I've done over 100 collections in my career, and usually they have about 15 to 30 pieces, coordinates in each one, 3 to 4 colorways each. So that's a lot of painting, and I just really love what I do, thank goodness. Thank goodness. So I'm going to go ahead and start on that process here. I'm going to talk to you tonight about my Christmas fabric that's coming out. It's just now in stores. It's called Homegrown Holidays, and I'm really excited about it. I've done a couple lines that are the last couple years a little similar color-wise, and they've done really well, so I'm going to go ahead and start that. I wanted this one to be, it's called Homegrown Holidays, and for me, holidays are about my family coming home. We have kids in Oregon, we have kids in New York, we have kids next door. So the best part of Christmas is everyone coming home. And so I decided that I wanted that to get kind of be the theme of it. And so I meet with the design coordinator at Moda, usually in normal world, at every quilt market. We have a little meeting and I plan out what my next fabric lines are going to be. Scott's going to be my Vanna White here. He's my handsome husband, Scott, behind that mask. He's also the muscle behind it, bringing everything in, right? He could also give this talk himself, believe me. So the first thing I do is sketch out really rough, and you're going to see this, and you're going to see how really rough it is, my ideas for the panel of my fabric line. And Scott's going to walk these around. And these are just rough, super rough sketches, okay? Those are sketches that you can just do really quick. And I show those to my design coordinator, and she kind of picks which ones she wants me to go with. So one of those she has picked to kind of be on my ideas. I'm going to go do that. And I decided I wanted it to have a lot of farm animals. Trucks are really hot right now. A big part of my job is paying attention to trends, color trends and theme trends. And so I wanted trucks in it, I wanted animals, I wanted a farm in it. So I started doing all these pen and ink sketches. And I love pen and ink. I genuinely love pen and ink. So, and I just use a .005 micron pen just like you do, and I do it in pen and ink so I can copy it, I can reduce it, enlarge it, whatever I need to do. Scott is responsible for, if we see anywhere, stopping immediately, fast, and I run out, get pictures of it, even if it's in a field, and so that's where we get a lot of inspiration. I found this wonderful old truck. We were Kentucky, and we're going down the road, and I'm like, stop! So I run out into the field, and and take pictures of it. And then I also wanted, some humor in this fabric line. So I decided to take some of those animals I'd drawn and add hats and quilts to them. I really have fun.
Oh,
But I really wanted to have some humor in this one, you know? So we went from, just pen and ink animals to quilts and things. And, I live in Ohio. Barn quilts. I love barn quilts. I mean, that's the best part of taking a drive anywhere is I get to see these lovely barn quilts everywhere. After I did my drawings, I decided to put the placement on those very rough ones. I have to kind of figure out the blocks. And for me, there is usually a panel in my fabric line. And not everyone does that, but I do that, and I've always done that because for me, designing a fabric line is like writing a story. And the main idea of my story is always my panel. That's the main idea. And then the plaids and the polka dots and the stripes and the little, coordinating fabrics are the supporting details. So I always start with my panel, the main idea. And so I took some of those sketches and I made them into blocks. I also love hand lettering. I love hand lettering. And these are going to be some of the blocks.
yeah, I can't tell if I'm getting them.
Okay, we'll aim
Yeah.
for you.
Okay, thank
So
you.
these are going to be some of the blocks on my panel.
Oh, let's see.
Can you do
This
this?
side like this.
Okay. Now when I draw the panels, I draw them half size of what the the actual fabric is going to be. So I work everything as half size. And so I took those blocks and then I drew a farm in the middle. And this is what this is the line art for the panel on Homegrown Holidays. And you can see where I pasted it up, and that's, I use
Sorry,
all,
everybody.
I don't want to redraw things. It's all about time, just like everyone else's life. My life is about time. And so I don't want to redraw that wreath again, so I reduce it down, paste things up, however, that I need to do. I'm the queen of paste up. But I do love hand lettering, and I can't cook, so thank goodness I can do things like that. My kids wish I could cook. Oh, boy.
But you can't do everything in life, right?
Yeah, right. Well, thank goodness God gave me something, because
Yeah.
I can't cook, I can't find directions. After I get the panel all drawn, then I coordinating fabrics. Now, the coordinating fabrics, I don't have to do the repeats, thank goodness. Moda does the repeats. And when I say repeats, I mean each pattern is going to have a motif, and that's going to be the main repeated design in a pattern. And if you look at any pattern, you can see, you really have to look sometimes, but there's always a repeat in it. And I don't have to do the repeat, but I try to help Moda with figuring that out. So sometimes they're really tiny. I love tiny. So I start, so these are going to be the pattern repeats.
Yes.
Hi, friends. So they're kind of little. I have to do them at least 3 by 3. And then on the repeats, like the star repeats, see, I figured out how it's going to be done. And then Moda would just, oh yeah, I don't have a mask on. Typhoid Debbie here. You're good. So we designed, so these are going to be the coordinates. One fabric has about, well, it depends on the size, sometimes 10 different patterns with the panel. It used to be 15. You know, 10 years ago, fabric groups were a lot bigger. A lot bigger. And it's good. It's like herding cats, isn't it?
It is. The only reason I have it this way is because they can read the actual words.
Oh.
If I flip it, everything is backwards,
Oh, yeah.
but I could see it.
You're doing a great
I
job.
could be backwards Bonnie for a while, I'm telling you.
Great job. So that's how I start, is with the line art of everything. And so the line art would take me about a week to a week and a half to do line art. And I work in my home, my studio's in our home. Our grandsons who live next door, our twin grandsons, they are being in-home schooled right now at Myrna and Papaw's house, us. So things have slowed down on the designing a little bit because we're the teachers again. But their teachers are doing a wonderful job. So just a little bit about our family. Scott and I, we have 3 kids. Our kids used to do these talks with us. This is the best story I have. Scott always says, make sure you tell this story. So our kids would do talks like this. And the girls, we have 2 girls and a boy, and the girls would love it. You know, it was like playing sport. They'd do the cash out people and things like that. And our son hated it. Hated. He's a redhead. And did you know that there is a tradition that if you rub a redhead's head, it's good luck? Yeah. Well, he knew about it because that's what a lot of ladies at the guild did to him, poor little Taylor. And he hated it. So one day I'm running around the house, always late, running around the house. Where's Taylor? Where's Taylor? We got to go to a talk. We've got to go get ready. I don't know. I can't find him anywhere, Mom. The girls are running around. We're all looking for him. I run up to his room. He had duct taped himself to the bed. He did not want to go. So I always have to tell that story.
You cut it, right?
Yeah. We cut it off and said, let's go. So our kids now, though, the oldest has twins, and she lives next door, and she is an art teacher. And then the middle one, Katie, she went to Savannah College of Art and Design and was hired by Martha Stewart, moved to New York right out of college.
Oh.
And then she went to Ralph Lauren, and now she works for American Eagle and designs all of their jewelry, masks. The mask I have on is one of Katie's. Wow. Jewelry, masks, and woven like scarves and things for the entire worldwide brand.
Ooh, I'm going to get some.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, and I just drove home from her house yesterday from Brooklyn because we have a little granddaughter there.
Wow.
Too. So, and then our son, our redheaded son, he's this giant man now. He's a giant man, and he lives in Oregon and works with young people at risk. He's an amazing young man. So just have to give you a little, little stories there. And they grew up doing these shows, and we would do trade shows, and we'd have a booth set up like this of all the stuff we were selling. And we'd walk up to the quilt, and they'd be underneath. They say they're scarred, right? They're scarred. Oh boy. Well, after I get the line art done, then I get to move into the painting. And for me, the painting is the most fun part. I paint with different media. This one was gouache, which is a heavy pigmented watercolor. Sometimes I use acrylic. I started out with watercolors, but it's really hard for the scanners at the mill to read the colors because it's kind of transparent sometimes. So this gouache is a heavier pigment. And so this is going to be the painted
oh my
version.
goodness.
Again, it's half size. Okay, let's get that. There we go.
Oh, isn't that pretty? It's
And now when I do these, I have to paint them out 3 colorways. Everything has to be 3 colorways. And the reason for that is the most expensive part of the whole printing process would be the screens. It's like silk screens, you know.
Sure.
And each color has a different screen. But you can change that screen, change the ink on the screen. So you're reusing that screen, the expensive part, with just different colors. So that's why when you walk into a fabric store, you're going to see a polka dot that's, you know, pink background, white polka dot, blue background, white polka dot, purple background, pink. It's the same screens, they're just changing the ink colors. And that's to try and get the cost down a little bit.
Sure.
So I paint everything out 3 colorways so that we can do that cost effectiveness as well. So that's the white background colorway. This is the red background colorway. And I don't have to paint it all out. I just have to paint it out so they can see where the colors change. And of course, no one told me that until I'd been designing for 10 years. And they said, "Oh, Deb, you don't have to paint them all out." I'm like, "What?" That's 6 years of my life. And then here is the gray colorway. Okay. Now, see these. Do you see that I have each one of these? I don't have it on the main one, but every single thing you're going to see tonight has a color chip page with it.
Oh, yes.
You see this?
Yep, see the color chips?
And those color chips are the colors that I have used in the entire painting. So I'm limited to 17 colors. Now that is really difficult. When I'm doing a calendar, I can use 270 colors. But when I do fabric, I'm limited to 17 colors. And that's because my fabric is printed in Japan, and it has, they're able to use more colors. Most of the factories, you can only use 8, maybe 10 colors. Fabrics printed in Korea, Japan, India.
Some in the United States.
Some in the United States, it's more cost. It actually costs more in the United States. Wait a minute here. So these color chips are going to be on every single thing showing, and you all see these same colors on the salvage edge of your fabric. Those are the colors of different screens that they've used when they're printing the ink. Now the reason I do this is if they can't figure out the ratio of the color, so like let's say this this gray, they can't figure out how much white, how much black's in it. Is there a little blue in it, a little yellow, a little brown, you know, to warm it up, cool it off? They will run it through a scanner to kind of figure out that ratio. Well, I don't want them cutting a piece out of my red truck that I'm trying to get on napkins.
Sure.
So I have learned over the years to do it like this, and then when they cut it out, see, they're cutting it out of here and not the sheep's face.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
So I kind of learned that over the years, that little trick. After I get the panels painted, then I go into the other little coordinates that we talked about. This is that little farmyard with the animals. I'll show you here. Now I have to paint it, like I say, 3 colorways, but for me, I want to see what it looks like. I want to see what's it look like with a red background, what's it look like with a green background, what's it look like with a tan background. And I wish I knew how to do it on the computer, but I don't. So I paint it every single time.
Oh my gosh, look at that. See that, people? Wow.
And you see I have my little color chips. Back here a little. I feel bad, right? You're okay. Okay. You're okay. Okay. I don't want you to feel threatened here.
so tired.
I gotta look online, see who's had it. Yeah. And quarter.
This is out right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it is out now?
Just came out. I work about a year ahead, so I have finished next year's already.
Okay, what is it?
It's
We won't tell.
it's buffalo plaid, a lot of buffalo plaid.
Oh, yes.
Poinsettias that are buffalo plaid, so I made the leaves on the poinsettias buffalo plaid instead.
Oh.
So, yeah, but it's not even been shown to the reps yet. It's actually not printed yet. So
So you can't tell.
So Scott, we'll show them a couple others of these. Okay. The little truck that we showed you, trucks are really a big deal right now. And
They
as I
are.
mentioned, part of my job is paying attention to what the trends are.
So what are the trends gonna be next year?
Well,
German short-haired pointers.
do what?
German short-haired pointers.
Really? Short head. I heard corgis.
No, German short-haired pointers. They wait.
Oh, really?
My husband has. I'll show you pictures. I have 4.
Oh, wow. I would love to see that.
What do they do?
They point. They pointers.
He's just asking you. You gotta watch him. You know.
Uh-oh.
You know what? He's gotta get in line.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people doing that all day long.
So this is the little trucks, and you can see I just painted the one main one, and then the other ones I just show where it changes. But it does take a lot of time. In terms of trends, back to trends. So for me, and I don't know, other designers maybe are different, but for me there are 2 kinds of trends that I really have to stay on top of: theme trends and color trends. And for me, theme trends, I find that young women's clothing stores, like Anthropologie, things like that, are kind of on the cutting edge for me of the theme trends. I'm also do a lot of work in the gift industry, and so I'm constantly watching what's going on in the gift industry. And then in terms of color, there's a association in New York called the Color Association, and they will predict what the color is going to be. The 2020 color is blue.
Yes.
And which I love. I think, oh man, that is just such a wonderful color,
Yes.
especially for all that's going on.
Are you allowed to copy Tiffany Blue's shade of blue? Or is there a copyright on that color?
I don't know. I've never really been that specific because I mix, I just mix my own. And I don't know. That's a really good question. I am very careful about copyright. I've been sued. And that was when I did coloring books. Oh, I did coloring books. No, I think it was a calendar. So I do a lot of quotes on my work, a lot of quotes, and words, quotes, and I try to research them very carefully. I mean, I really try very hard. And there was one quote, and it went something like, a family means you will be together forever no matter what, something like that. And I researched it, and I couldn't find a name with it anywhere. And I used it on a calendar page, and it was someone's, and they sued me. And I tried to say, well, how about I'll put your name on it, and I'll give you half the royalties, and no. So I'm really scared now. I mean, for me, it's really hard because there are no guidelines. I've tried to find guidelines. There are no guidelines about it. I mean, somebody will say, well, if it's less than 10 words, you're okay. No, that's not true. So, you just have to be really, really careful. I try to use something that's at least 50 years old that's common domain, you know, if I can. So, I mean, sometimes I even make it up myself, and then I'll find it somewhere else that somebody else made it up too. So I just feel like I can do my best and sleep at night, and that's what I do. So also am really careful. But anyway, in terms of color, I watch that, you know, the New York Color Society in terms of the Color Association in terms of color, and then they also predict what the trend colors are going to be for the next year coming out, like home deck colors.
Are they ever going to get away from gray?
Are you done with gray? Huh? Yeah. I would say the blue is going to probably become a new
gray.
Yeah, maybe a new neutral. I'm not sure. I never know.
Something within the past couple of weeks of Sherwin-Williams color of the year.
Right.
And a really ugly kind of bronzy, browny, blacky kind of. Yeah, it was their color. They showed a door painted.
Well, and that's true. I mean, home colors are different than apparel colors, because my daughter that works for American Eagle, her color palette that she's working off of is very different from the one I'm working off of. You know, I also don't design for teenage girls like she does. So, but that's something that I'm constantly trying to be aware of. So anyway, I paint all these little coordinates out, and I'm really not fancy when I send these into Moda. I just pop them in an envelope and say, okay, here's the greenery one, and send all of these in. And once I get all done, everything's painted up. It gets really ugly at the end, ladies. I have deadlines. Don't lie, Scott. There are no showers at the end. There is no cooking at the end. There is not much sleep at the end. So to get to that deadline, when it finally hits and I get to send the package off to Moda, Scott takes me out for a glass of wine, and we celebrate, woohoo, and sleep. And so then the originals go to Moda. I ship all of these in a box down, and they're in Texas, yeah, Dallas, Texas. And then I wait to see if it's been approved, because there's no guarantee that it will be approved. It takes me about 6 weeks to paint one fabric line. 2 times in my career I've had lines rejected, and that's when you turn into, you know, a little ball and close the curtains and but one I was able to rework, and the other is buried in a drawer somewhere. So yeah, so
do they let you know that they want you to start a line, or do you come up with that and go, hey, I've got a line?
Well, that's a really good question. When I meet with my design coordinator, I am ready, and I usually have about 15 ideas for lines that I want to propose. And I don't draw them out, but I can say, you know, this is what I'm thinking, these are the colors, I want this in the panel. And then we'll kind of narrow that down. And I do between 4 lines and 6 lines a year. So plus the calendars and, you know, all that. So we keep really busy. Usually we do a lot of talks, but this year we didn't do that.
I wonder why.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. So after I get it all sent and Moda says, yes, we like it, and then we celebrate again, yay, yay, yay. And then they ship it to Japan, the whole thing to Japan, the artwork goes to Japan. And then about 3 months from that, I get what's called strike-offs back.
What are they called?
They're called strike-offs.
Okay.
And strike-offs are individually printed, make sure I have this right, individually printed fabric of the art that I sent. But these are printed by hand. So I can't imagine, but that's just to show what they would look like. And also for Moda to pick what they want in the line, because they're going to narrow it down. And also if we want any changes. Well, they used to send the strike-offs to me, and I would let them know what I wanted changed, but I'm a little bit obsessive about my fabric, and I would send 3 pages, double-sided, college-ruled, single-space pages of changes that I wanted. And now they don't send me the strike-offs anymore.
Not until after.
Yeah. And that's okay. That is okay. Let's see, these are, so here is the panel.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's he feeling?
And then this is the red colorway.
Oh, that's pretty.
And I can't say how much I appreciate, they make it look just like my artwork. I mean, it looks just like my artwork, and for me that's just really wonderful. They changed the gray colorway to black, but I'm so glad they did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, yeah. I do. I make so much stuff. Yeah. And then I say the artwork, yeah. You know, my kids are like, what are we going to do with this? Do something with it, Mom. But, so that's what the fabric looks like. And then the fabric is sold then, Moda has reps that go to stores.
Yes.
And they are sold either by fabric or sometimes on paper. If it's going to be just a small little group, especially if it's like just a little, like I just did a salsa group, had 5 pieces in it, and it was sold on paper. Rather than them doing the whole strike-offs and everything like that, they did it and sold it just on paper. So, do you have any questions so far about any of this? Doing okay?
Any questions?
Yeah, they did it in black. They didn't do the gray. Yeah, which is fine.
Do you have any questions? If you do, send me your questions.
Question
I'll see what I can do, okay?
about copyright. So everything I have, I copyright. And I retain the copyright to every single thing I've ever done. And if you ever know someone that's starting in or has aspirations of doing something in this industry, don't ever let them give the copyrights away, because as long as I own my own copyright, then I'm going to get a piece of the profit for whatever companies make on it. If you sell a copyright, then they can make millions and millions of dollars, and they might have $50. You know, so my advice is always to young artists starting out, don't sell your copyright. And especially in the beginning, you're very, very, you know, you really are thinking, oh, $50, I could go out to dinner. But you just have to hang on to it. And
what does it cost to copyright?
Another good question, and here's a trick. So it used to be, copyrights are like $75. They're expensive. And I paint 50, geez, who knows how many paintings I do a year, 50 to 100 paintings a year. That's not even counting all the little things. Another artist taught me this trick. If you ever copyright something, you put it all in a pile. It can be like this. The collection from winter of 2020 and copyright that stack for the $75. Not one, the whole stack, $75. And so that's how we do that. And copyright really, and I'm going to show you here, it's not a real guarantee of protection. I mean, I've had things taken, you know, I've seen my artwork on socks and that I don't know where that came from, but it is a little bit of a protection. So I'm just going to show you real quick. I could talk to you, ladies, so I don't want to get too long here. I'll just show you a couple of upcoming groups.
I have a question
Yeah.
from Karen Radiger.
Hi, Karen.
Karen wants to know how many of your designs have been printed by Moda.
Over 100 collections.
Over 100 collections, okay. And Karen would also like to know if you quilt.
No.
You don't have? Yeah, you probably don't have time.
Somebody, thanks, Karen.
Always wait for that question.
No, I
Yeah.
always think, so I don't quilt.
Okay.
And the reason I don't quilt right now is because I'm painting I really paint till 10:30 every single night. But I was in Busy Bees 4-H club for 7 years growing up.
All right.
So I can sew. And one day I will. And I can like make pillows and quilt because Moda has us, you know, do some things, you know, like we have to, at Quilt Market, we talk in front of a big group and we're supposed to show a pillow that we designed, and I'll actually do it, you know, I'll actually sew it.
Oh, cool.
So when the time comes, I will one day, but thanks, Karen. So this is a line that is also out in the world right now, and it's called Cultivate Kindness, and it's our trucks.
Do you sell your designs for embroidery?
I have. Husqvarna has done a couple with mine.
Uh-huh.
Embroidery. Stay tuned. I'm hoping that's on the horizon.
Okay.
Because I'm really, I would love to do that. I can do that, and I would love to. So hopefully that will be
Okay.
coming soon.
And that would be machine embroidery designs, right?
I'm trying to do it on, you know, hand embroidery.
Oh, okay.
I would love to do that. I think that would be just so relaxing to sit there. Kathy Schmitz does beautiful embroidery. And
Oh, is that beautiful?
that's the trucks.
Do you see that, girls and boys? Do you? Oh my goodness.
And then I'll show you one more, and then we have a little quilt show to show you here. This one is not out in the world yet, but it's one of my favorites.
Sorry about my fat face getting in there.
Okay. Here's the painting. I really like this painting.
Ooh! Oh my gosh, can we see it here? Oh. Looky there.
And in this one, Moda wanted me to do running yardage of big stars, you know, you could use to, like for borders and things like that.
Yes.
So it is coming out soon. I think it might be. I think they're just taking orders for it right now, but it. Just so keep an eye. Oh, wait a minute. It should tell me on here when it's coming out.
Oh.
And it doesn't. Wait a minute. August 2020.
Oh, it's already.
Well, maybe with COVID.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
This is the panel of it, how it came out.
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous.
I like that one. I thought that one came out really pretty. And I think they just did it in the white and red.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Here, let's just flip this real quick. Show them the red one real quick.
Oh my.
And then the coordinates are all.
Oh, are Aren't they pretty?
And the flowers.
I like that flowers. Ooh.
So now Scott and I are going to do a little quilt show for you.
Okay. They're gonna do a quilt show.
Okay, and do we have a couple volunteers that would help us? Yes, please. You get to pick up that quarter bundle for doing it.
Ooh.
I do. Yes, you do. For me?
Not the whole thing, just one of them.
One, I know, but that's awesome. You get to pick up that. So I'm going to start with Christmas quilts, and this is also going to be about trends too. I want to talk about color trends a little. This is the kit. Yeah, this is the kit from Homegrown Holidays that Moda is selling, and that should be in stores now. Okay, what are you doing? This one uses the white panel, and then this. Could everybody see it? This one uses the red.
Okay?
Right?
Oh my gosh.
So who makes these?
Okay, so my quilts are designed most of the time by Barb of Coach House Designs. She's in Canada. She's a good friend of mine, and we work together really well. So she will come up. I come up with the fabric, and then I send her my designs. She comes up with the quilts, and then she runs them past Moda to see if they would like to purchase any of her patterns.
Button them up.
She does a great job, and we have her card back there. You don't have to buy anything or anything, just come up to Scott, and we have her card. Almost all of the quilts you're gonna see tonight are on her website. Wow. It's listed by designer, just go to Deb Strain on it, and you'll be able to find most of these. So talking about colors. So, Christmas colors are generally red and green. Red and green, red and green, red and green, red and green. Well, I want to show you how red and green changes over the years. And this is what you need to pay attention to as a designer. How do the colors change over the years? So this was my first Christmas line I did, mid-90s. You remember when everything was dark and grungy?
Yeah.
Okay, first one. Okay. Upside down, right. Everything was dark and grungy. I didn't even wash my paintbrushes out. I just went to town with it. And then the next few years, the colors, red and green, still started getting a little cleaner. And then we added some navy in, still getting a little cleaner. But then our red and green, the red and green became bright red and green.
Now that's speaking my language. I like that one.
Wow. But Barb does a great job with cutting up my panels and using them in such a creative way. Isn't this? I think this is so creative.
It's adorable.
Okay,
Love
so
it.
there's the red and green, and that green is wow.
Awesome.
And then we added, one year we did, and still sometimes turquoise was in with the Christmas. So not much green at all, mostly red, white, and turquoise. Still Christmas colors, but they're changing.
Oh, is it still on
And then there's always the traditional Christmas colors, which I love this pattern. I love this pattern.
Gosh, I'm getting tired.
And I feel like these are the traditional Christmas colors that,
Look at that.
these are pretty rich.
beautiful?
But yeah, I think. And this was another Christmas line which went even darker and richer.
Oh, isn't that pretty though?
Oh.
Yeah.
So that just kind of shows how even red and green, the colors, you have to pay such close attention to, and it's a year out. I'm designing 2022 calendars right now. Well, they're done. So I have to try to really, really pay attention to what those trends are going to be. One thing that I really love doing is designing bee fabric. I designed 3
I'm gonna
bee
flip
fabrics,
this
and the
around.
4th one is coming out,
I
and I
can't keep
love
doing what I
designing
do.
bee fabric. because I really like detail. And now that you've seen how I design, I love designing this kind of fabric. It's just, to me, it's just, I love it. This one is, the pattern is called All Stocked Up. I just love that one. And so the panel on that one had little squares, and she used those for the labels.
That's really pretty. Wow. Do you have that pattern, or that's just what she did with it?
That's on her website.
Okay.
And it's CoachHouseDesigns.com.
Okay.
And again, we have her card back there. This is from my first Beeline, and this one, the pattern is called the Gallery. And I think it came out so pretty. The panel had all these different bee images. But you can tell I love this jacquard like pattern. It for me is my favorite thing to design.
Oh my God.
This was another bee group. And I also like illuminated letters a lot. So this whole Beeline had the illuminated letters, like the monks used to do when they illustrated Bibles. The first letter was big. And now this one, I wanted to tell you. Remember, I said that people had taken my design sometimes. So this is going to knock your socks off. So I post pictures. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Deb Strain. And you can follow me, and people follow me. Well, I always, at Quilt Market, post pictures of the quilts hanging in my booth. And I took a picture of the bee quilt that Moda made into a kit one year. And don't you know, a company took my picture and sold the quilt. And this, you can touch this, you're gonna just be disgusted. It is, I bought this online because it came up and I thought, oh my gosh, that's my quilt, that's my fabric. And it was like $50 for the whole thing, this thing. When you touch it, you will see. It is disgusting. I mean, isn't that gross?
Well, was it already put together?
Yes.
Well, they didn't even put it together well. I mean.
Well, they just printed it.
Yeah.
And
they did it crooked.
Off the picture.
Yeah.
That I posted on Instagram.
That is horrible.
And you didn't sue them?
Well, I went to Instagram and Facebook, and they took it off. But I contacted an attorney, and they said it's like a whack-a-mole. They're up and gone so quickly that,
yes, you can't catch them.
When you feel this, have everybody feel it. It's gross.
It is gross.
Well, you can just see how poorly.
Yeah. But so these kind of things happen, you know.
No, but
it's like almost like
It's not even like that.
I know it is. So Moda, so Moda at Quilt Market, they will hang up a design.
Whoops. Sorry.
Kit. And I kept walking. I don't always know who designs the kit. And I kept walking by this quilt made with my fabric, and I just, every time I'd walk by it, I would say, oh, I love that quilt, I love that quilt, I love that quilt. And
Don't get booked yet.
And so, just to tell you what kind of people Moda, what kind of company they are. Scott and I moved into a new house about 6 months after this Quilt Market, and I went out, there was a package, and it said, welcome to your new home, Deb. And here is what they sent me.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Oh, it's beautiful.
I love this. Isn't it just amazing? Wow. So this was a kit. Yeah, this was a kit that Moda did with my fabric.
Oh.
That's gorgeous. Isn't that pretty?
What year was that?
Oh gosh, I don't do well with numbers. I really don't.
Well, it's just too many, I don't remember.
Probably
Isn't that
20,
Well, we just moved in the house in,
Oh, yeah.
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Yeah.
2015 maybe.
Okay. Okay, now I'm just going to show you some other things I've designed. This is in a Martindale book. We'll just do some of these quick here. This one I have the kids here.
How adorable is that?
This is from a line called Explore. And like I say, I have the kits over there.
Oh, how cute.
It's a great boy-y, manly, group. And it was inspired by our trip out to Colorado.
cute?
So that's from Explore. This one is also from Explore. And this one is the brushed cotton.
Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous.
I like that shirt. Oh, so awesome. The axe. Oh my gosh.
These are all Barb of Coach House Designs.
Oh, beautiful.
Just adorable.
Okay.
This is from the truck line, that Cultivate Kindness line that you just saw. So the panel, this is how the panel was cut up.
Boy, that came out gorgeous.
Oh, that is so pretty. So pretty.
I'll show you one more. We love our red trucks.
Yes.
I love
Oh. Do you have that pattern?
I don't have that pattern, but Barb does
Okay.
on the website. I know she
Okay.
does. Yeah.
Wow,
Coach House Designs, right? You can get her card back there too.
Oh, is that pretty?
Anna Scott, right? If you want to stick these back in there. Okay. A couple quickies here. This is from a Halloween line that I did. I just thought that was cute.
Oh, that's cute.
adorable.
This was a farmhouse line I did. This was my Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, I love this one with the.
Isn't that apple's cute?
I always am amazed by this one because it looks exactly like the painting.
Oh, oh.
The modeling in the base, they just really, they just really
That looks
do.
real.
It does.
That is amazing.
I've done 3 coffee lines, and I always enjoy
That's
Oh, that's beautiful.
I like coffee.
I do
That's awesome.
half
Yeah.
my blood. This a pattern I designed using a group called Cherish Nature. So I did design this one, but I painted the pattern because I don't,
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Cute.
Look at that.
Mother Bird?
off flying.
She's going to get food.
Yeah,
She's out
yeah.
eating.
This one, I've always had this idea. I wanted to do a family tree quilt for our family. And so I did, my panel had a giant tree on it, and then I made the birds that you could applique on so you could customize the panel. And so this was my family tree, and this is our family tree. And if I could get you to hold this for a second. So this is our family tree. This is Scott and I. This is Katie and Trevor and our new little one. This is the twins and their mom. This is that red-headed son and his job for the next 15 years. Right here. Right there. This one I love, the blue.
Oh, that's gorgeous, gorgeous.
Did they, and they, look at that.
Gorgeous.
They stitched it by hand around the scallops around the,
It looks like the Delft, like dishes.
blankets, dishes, yeah.
That again is from Barb of Coach House Designs. My 2 daughters that are artists, Moda invited them to design a line with me.
Oh,
And
I have that panel. I have it. Oh my gosh.
That's what you were supposed to do.
I know, I have it.
I love this.
Isn't that beautiful?
This one I love to show just because, well, Ohio, Indiana.
Oh, isn't that pretty? Oh.
Isn't it?
I did. Almost, yeah.
Do you have that panel here?
I don't. This is an older panel.
So they just,
I need
did they
it.
cut it apart? Or?
Right, the panel had the 6 barns on it.
Oh, okay.
And they cut, and Barb cut it up,
I just
right.
couldn't tell if the whole thing was. Oh, and look at the butterfly that she appliqued on there.
And then I'm just gonna,
Here's the back. I don't know if you're interested.
I end with this quilt at every talk I've ever.
But we're not done.
Yeah, that's okay. Shh. I don't. So this is a quilt my grandmother made with my fabric, and she would do the talks with me, and it's hand stitched. It's hand. I'll show you the back.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And this fabric
Oh my
was called
gosh.
Albany Collection, and it was
Wow.
inspired by wallpaper in homes in upstate New York.
Sure.
And let's show them the back.
It's upside down though.
But still.
Sorry.
Grandma
Oh,
stitching.
that's
Wow,
gorgeous.
it's perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it
This
up
is
close.
always
It's
my
amazing.
last.
Wow.
That's just beautiful.
So thank you, ladies.
Now, would you tell us about all of this?
Right. So we've got fat quarter bundles are $10 a piece, or 3 for $25, and then we've got panel kits, books, calendars, jewelry, note cards, coasters, Christmas cards. We take credit card. Thank you
And
so much.
online,
Oh, and
people online.
yeah, online, I'm on Etsy, Deb Strain Studio. Now, not everything is on my site, though. So, it's just when you visit people.
All right, so if you all want something here, just let me know. And I'm going to be here just for a little bit. So let me know, and I can pick it up for you or whatever, okay? All right, this is Bonnie.
Thank you for your time this
Thank
evening.
you, thank you. Hey.
I've just got the White House again.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. We're in Yellow Springs.
I thought so. I heard your name.
Yeah.
I went to school there.
Okay, you talk. I did. We're happy.
About 100 years ago.
It's a beautiful, we love it here. Oh, I love it here. Just love it here.
Okay.
I just want to make sure.
Did you enjoy? Everybody enjoyed it? Okay.
We have a card in here.
All right, everyone. I know you can't see me. You can only see my body. Okay. And that's the worst part.
Did you get a?
She did a great presentation. So if you need anything, just let me know. Send me a text real quick, and I can pick things up for you, okay? All right. Do you want me to show you what's on there? On the table? Maybe I should do that. She has a lot of her fabrics here. Panels and vintage. Wish you were here. Go on her Etsy site and see what she has. Her calendars, oh my goodness, they're just beautiful. Her cards, just everything. It's just very nice. She has layer cakes, and so, all right. Good night.